Hello, and welcome to Toy Vet episode 21. This is the show where I react to upcoming toy releases. I have here a list of upcoming toy releases that I saw, knew that I would want to take a second look at. Instead of taking that second look, I put them on this list, and now I'm taking that second look fairly freshly here with you. I talked about this a little last time, I think. I have enough for this episode 21. For next week's episode, I need more content. So hopefully in the next week, there's a big rush of content. I can fill this in. I'm supposed to fill up 10 items plus the 2 I check every week. So don't look at that. That's for next week. I'm hoping we will get there. And I've started looking at Toys Are Evil again, which I stopped because I was getting so much content, but I guess I should have kept at it so I could keep loading up on the content. But haven't got much out of it since I've been back to it, but hoping to get something good and good stuff from my my normal sources, which is Strange Cat Toys, Kika Goods, their email newsletters. So let's see what we have this week, and we'll hope we have stuff for next week. Let's get started. First up is Flamey Pop by Moopa Toy. Little flame creatures. It's cool. Look, I believe we'll read the details in a second, but I think you get all 4, and it looks like they each come in their own individual bag, which is neat. Oh, and maybe there's a chance of getting a hidden one. They're kind of cool. I don't think I would really get into them, but let's see what it says here. Yeah, it looks like you get all 4, I believe. Looks like there's other ones too. And yeah, I think this is implying there's a hidden one. It doesn't tell you there's a hidden one. Interesting. They're pretty cool, but yeah, 4 centimeters. They're very small, which you can tell obviously from this, but pretty nice. Oh, before we go on to the next thing, I wanted to mention I recently went to the Christiana Mall in Delaware, and there were several interesting toy stores there. There was a toy store that was called I think it was called IP Blind Box. Could be wrong on that. Let's look it up. Why not? Oh, maybe I should save this for next week. That's okay. Directory of stores. Okay, it's not coming up, even though I know it had Blind Box in the title, or maybe that was the subtitle. Let's try IP, because I thought it was called IP. Yeah, it's not on their directory. I think it's called IP Blind Box, and that they had a ton of Japanese blind boxes, as you would imagine. Many of them were from IPs, anime IPs mostly. There was some stuff I was kind of interested in, like, I don't know if you remember the cats and sarcophaguses we looked at a few weeks ago. They actually had them. I thought that was really cool that something from the show was in the store. And they had a ton of blind boxes. They had a ton of Japanese food, which was cool, like I think potato chips, which was pretty cool. And then a huge, gigantic, massive section of the store was just Hello Kitty stuff, not blind boxes, which they had them too up front, but in the back, just Hello Kitty, all kinds of stuff. Or Sanrio, all kinds of stuff. Pretty cool store. I thought about trying to film in there. If I go back, I might be going back next month, and I might try to film in there. And I might even try to interview the manager or something, or the owner. I might call them to see if I'm allowed to film in there, and I might just film some short videos in there. It wasn't the greatest or anything. There was nothing in there that I would buy, actually, but I just thought it was cool that the cats we covered were in there. And it kind of made me want to buy one, but I didn't. The other thing is there's a Pop Mart store there, which is interesting. It's all toys from the brand Pop Mart. It's like an official store of them. And I'm not into that brand very much slash at all, but it was just cool that a brand like that had a store in a mall. Pretty interesting. So I might try to film in there and maybe interview somebody there too next time I go. We'll see. I'll think about it. I might not want to do any of that actually, but I might try either the shooting or and maybe the interviewing or maybe nothing. I don't know, but I'm thinking about it. Anyway, second thing, Nyota Growing Up by Your Way blind box series figures. Not totally sure why I put this on here. I think I might have just wanted to see more of what the other figures were. So let's see what they are. Yeah. The poem one is kind of interesting. This one with the house head's kind of interesting. That one's kind of interesting feeling. But overall, I'm not really into these. This is the secret. It's got wings and is on the moon. Pearlescent. And feature a distressed finish. The props are not part of it, people. But it does come with a cat. That one's kind of interesting. Oh, this one actually has real words on it. They don't seem to make a ton of sense, but kind of interesting, kind of like a poem almost. This one almost looks like a shrimp or a mollusk or a hermit crab or something. They're a decent size, kind of. Small, but decent. Interesting. I'm not really into them, though. Next. Yumo Collection of Clouds blind box series. These are a bean style, I think. Most of them have this closed eyes expression. Some of them have lightning bolts, that's cool. Some of them are peeking out with an eye. I like that. Those ones are kind of cool. There's 4 hiddens. The Verdant Summer one's kind of cool. Are these beans? Are they? Let's see. Each blind box contains 3. Yeah, so they're a bean style thing, which I have an interest in, as I've talked about many times. Wrapping up a project of, not wrapping up. I'm working on a project of a shadow box of small figures, which I looked at many, many, many bean collections for that reason. And if you don't know, a bean toy is a blind box toy where you get multiple little toys in each blind box. Like this one, you get 3. Each blind box contains 3 random designs, and they're small. And I wanted to put something like that in Shadow Box. I ended up going with Mr. Beast Lab Swarms, and I had my Shadow Box filled up pretty well, but I need a couple more sets to really fill it up, and then I'm going to do a little video about it, which will be on this channel at some point. I'm not going to do that until July when the new set comes out, and I'm going to buy some of the new set. Because I'm trying not to have any dupes in, and I know if I buy any more of set 1 or 2, I'm going to get a bunch of dupes and waste money when I'm trying to save money. But from looking at so many beans, I just want to look at beans, and I still want to find like the best bean series out there, because I haven't found one that is that great, honestly. The one that was really cool that I almost pulled the trigger on was Downy Monsters, but ended up having some moral issues with them, which we've talked about. But anyway, that's why I look at these beans still, because I would still love to find a really cool bean series. Next, lovely Emma Scoop Ice Cream Series plush blind box. So here we have some food plushies, ice cream cones specifically. So many of these toys, I like, when I look at this, I'm like, ooh, this is kind of cool. These little drawings that are the guide. They're not a photo, though. They're a drawing. And then when you look at the real thing, I'm like, they don't look as good as the drawings, actually. So I don't like that they have little hooks where you can hook them onto things. That's kind of cool if you're a woman with a purse like this, I guess. But in general, I don't like the hooks. I'd rather them just be a straight up toy slash plush and that you can display. And the hook makes it look weird. Guess there's one hidden. So if this is a purse, you can kind of tell they're small. They're a cool size for an ice cream cone because it's reminiscent of the size of an ice cream cone. So it just makes sense. These are kind of interesting. I'm not really into them though, but they're not horrific. This one's cool because it's like a frog, but it starts to get weird because you're like, it's an ice cream cone plush of a frog with a doll's face. So many weird elements. There's a duck one. That one's like a bear, and this is the hidden, which is a bee. That's just painful to look at because you're like eating ice cream with bee stingers in it. Interesting. I'm not that into it though. Next is Foodie Dinosaur Mini Cute Beans Series Blind Box. Blind Bag, sorry. So, more beans. These ones are dinosaurs. I don't know why they are called Foodie though. Maybe just because they look like gummy bears, perhaps? And these, some of these are crazy, but they would appear to be real dinosaur names, I guess, because obviously you recognize some. So, okay, you have regulars, transparent, specials, and glow in the dark. And so you can get, I guess there's 6 dinosaurs and there's 4 styles. And you can get each dinosaur in each style. That is cool. I like that as a setup. I guess, so the glow in the darks are hiddens. Those are the chasers you want. You get 3 in each bag, and you get 8 bags in a box. Are they that great looking? Not really, but they're not horrible. And there's the glow in the darks. They look cool. They glow different colors despite looking gray in the picture. Oh, that's kind of a cool shot. Yeah. So, yeah, it looks gray. That's the glow in the dark Triceratops. And it glows yellow, at least in a black light. That's pretty cool. If they all glow a different color. And they each dinosaur is a color. Even the different, so they're all a shade of yellow. The different finishes. That's pretty cool. Glow in the darks. That guy. These, I have some strict rules about dinosaurs. There's the transparency. That's a cool shot. And I don't think I'm gonna have to go on that rant with these guys. You'll probably hear that sometime in the future, though. My dinosaur rant. Let's see if we say anything else here. Regular, special. These kind of look metal, almost. I don't know. Transparent, glow in the dark. Different colors, very cool. Okay. I'm not into them though. And I don't see where the foodie thing comes in. Let's read this fluff. Oh. So they look like candies and they smell like candy. I wonder if that's true. So these are like transparent candies. Okay. Let's move on. Next is Poe, Copia Poa by Vin. Kind of a cool figure. I'd love to see the back of it. Which is not... This is the only picture of it. Okay. And I don't know the size, and it's $300. Wow. It's sold out, too. See, I make these lists usually weeks in advance. Although, as you see right now, I'm not caught up to that, but... So, this was probably a pre-order. Yeah, it says pre-order. Back when I made the list, it's sold out now. But I'm not super into it anyway, but it's kind of neat looking. I'd love to see what the back looks like, if these spikes are continued, if it's supposed to look like a bug. What's up with these skulls? Do we get any more context on the back of what they're about? I'm going to look at this one real quick, just because it looks so... There's a wooden one. That is cool. Even just that it's made out of wood. I like to see those toys made out of wood, of, you know, where there's a brand where obviously... I don't know much about this Poe guy, but obviously there's a bunch of different ones, and that there's a wood one is really cool. Oh boy. Let's look at it. Why not? And let's look at this one. I just want to see, is this one just 3D printed? No, I don't think it is. I think that's just reflections in a very glossy surface, which is cool. That looks like the camera right there, maybe. So it looks cool. I don't like the design of the character, really, but this finish is great. And here's the wooden one. I don't like the design, but the wood looks great. Anyway. Next is Yuki, Little Bear Bun Mini Keychain Plush Blind Box. Oh boy. It's very fuzzy and has a very cute face. 2 different colored eyes. Not true of all of them. Most of them have matching eyes. Yeah, I'm not really into these, but very cute and worth looking at, I guess. Again, the faces... I don't know what brand this is. He designed... The 2 hiddens aren't shown here. Wow. Oh, these are supposed to be bear faces above them. You can't even tell. I wonder if those bear faces are really in there somewhere. You can't even barely see the ears. Oh, there's the face, I guess. Can barely see the ears. Get it? Yeah, the face is just very hidden. The bear face. Right there, supposedly. Let's see what brand this is. Yali Studio. I don't think that's... Yeah, the Softopia is the brand I'm thinking of, where a lot of the faceplates are compatible. And yeah, these are cool faceplates. Like if you had like the Weird Burger series that I was into a couple weeks ago, and you could put on some like pop these faceplates off and put them on that. That would be cool. I'd like that, but I don't like these by themselves. And that's not even the case. It's a different brand. Mentions nothing about the faceplates. This is tough. 8 regular designs and 2 secrets. Get a case, you get 8 regular or 7 and 1 secret. So you're looking at multiple cases. Just even if you're the luckiest man on the planet, you're looking at 2 cases to get 2 secrets. That's rough. Large Cube Bean Weather Series figure. See, these are like Weather Sky. Let's see what this guy is supposed to be. Because you have... Oh, why are we not starting at the beginning? Here they are. Have I talked about these already? Sunny Doll. I don't know. I'm going to go through this real quick because I believe I talked about this on the show already. because I know I told my story about the miniature that's like a tornado that I used to have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've looked at these already, so we're just going to move on. Sorry about that. Tell me if I'm wrong. Ziyuli Dazzling Gem Series blind box. So I put some dolls on here. Great. They're all named after precious stones. Bopaz, maybe that's supposed to be topaz. Sometimes I think Kika Goods does her own translations here, which leads to some weirdness, maybe. I'm not positive on that, but I keep noticing new things on this one. The heart is melting, and she's wearing a garter, which is weird. Yeah, that's the coolest one with the melting heart on there. That's cool. Love to see a real dress like that. That would be cool. That'd be a good design. Some butterfly dress. Her eyes are really weird. Is she the hidden? Yes. They're pretty cool. As I've ranted about before, I don't collect dolls, and I don't think I should collect dolls, but I'm tempted to sometimes. Oh, this one has like a crown of thorns. That's weird. These are pretty cool. They're pretty well done. But, yeah, they're dolls. Let's see what we have here. Something from Toys R Evil. I'm not logged in, so see if it lets me, take a look at this. These are called Gazul. They are very reminiscent of Mega Man boss characters. These are custom one-offs by different artists, and you can see references to some IPs here, like Gundam, Mazinger, I think, and Mega Man itself. These are not great. That one's kind of cool. That one's interesting. I wonder if it's supposed to be Bebop from Ninja Turtles, but maybe not because it has boxing gloves, but it looks cool. That one's kind of cool. It's just a straight colorway pretty much. That one's cool too. Not really into that one. You can see they put a head on top of the body. That one's all right. Can we get to tweet number 2 of this? Maybe not because we're not logged in. Hang on. I'm going to turn off the screen and log in and see if that helps. Sorry. Sorry, that took a minute. We're back. We're logged in. And okay, now we can see number 2. You can just see the artists. I sort of like the original character more than almost all these customs, except that one maybe. That was really cool, just with the tons of guns. Like, but this one's like a straight colorway. I like that. I kind of like this character. It might be too referential of Mega Man though, but kind of cool. Anyway. All right. Last but not least, we have our 2 Instagrams we check every week. First is Mech Noise Toys, one of my favorite makers that I have one of their figures and thinking about getting another one. So let's see. All right, I got to log into Instagram too. Let's turn this off and I'm going to log in. Last night I was playing oh boy. Sorry, I have to look up my password for both of these. I was playing a video game called Steel Hunters, and my VRAM ran out and crashed my computer, and when I came back, everything on Chrome was logged out. Very weird. Which is why this is happening everywhere I go. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can get logged in. And I have to go to my email to authenticate. Sorry. And I don't see the email yet. I apologize. It may take a few minutes to get this code. No way, dude. Here it is. Okay. I'm really sorry. I'll have, if I ever crash like this again, I'll have to remember to go through all this. Log into everything before I start filming. Alright. Turn this back on. Sorry about that. Let's try again. Mech Noise Toys. Here we go. And Mech Noise has the Evangelion license, and that's the main thing they do these days, but they still... They make their own stuff at a slightly lesser rate than usual since I got this license and are pumping out these EVA figures, but... Yeah, I don't think it's reduced their rate on their figures too much. They've just really do these figures all the time. It has reduced it a little bit, definitely. But as you can see right here, nothing new except EVA stuff since last week, if you watch every week. So nothing for us to look at there because I'm not into EVA. And I don't like their licensed stuff anyway, in general. Next, we'll look at the Galaxy People, which is a toy maker I might want to get something from in the near future. It's going to be an either or, probably Mech Noise or Galaxy People, a big figure, or one other option, which I've talked about before. We do have a new post from them, which is this one, which, let's see, I made some new t-shirts. Child size shirts. That's cool. I'd get my kid this shirt. I like this shirt a lot. And maybe I should get my kid this shirt. It's super weird. It's cool that he says, let's see, where did he say this? Maybe toys will follow. I'd love to see a Galaxy People style toy of this penguin. That would be so cool. Oh, that's one of the shirts he made. That's cool. Okay, maybe same figure will follow of this bear with the head of like Sensor Bat or something. Are these child size? I don't know. These are, there's the bear one. There's the Gon. There's the penguin. So you see that Gon at the end, that green figure, that's one that is in the running for me to possibly get. Yeah, right there. I'd really like to get something else from Galaxy People. I like the other figures better, but if nothing has come out, what I'm thinking is by July, when I finish my shadow box, then I'm going to want to go ahead and get this big figure as part of my last hurrah project I've talked about, where I pick up, I finished some blind box stuff, collections that I've been wanting to finish, which I already featured on videos on this channel, and then I want to do the shadow box, which is almost done, and then I want to get one more big figure because my budget has changed a lot and I'm going to be buying less toys. So this is my last hurrah of getting kind of one of each of those categories. So in July, after I finish the shadow box, I'm going to see if anything else has come out from Galaxy People. If something cooler has come out, I might jump on it right away. If not, I might get the Gon. If the Gon's sold out, I might just be waiting for either Mech Noise or Galaxy People to come out with something, or pull the trigger on one thing that is available now that I've talked about before, which is Ragnarok by Slag. We'd have to think about that. We're not going to think about it until July, though. Putting it off. So he made a bear and like a weasel and this guy. They're cool shirts, and they'd be cool figures. The penguin would be a cool figure too. I feel like he may have been talking about these, which makes sense because he kind of sometimes makes toys like this where he just shoves the head of one of his figures on something, like the little spaceships and tanks and stuff he's made, which are super cool. These might be cool too if he does it right. Especially if he casts the animal bodies himself, not just shove them on some toy or something. But anyway, that's it for this week. We'll see you next week, hopefully, if we have enough content. Good night.